Tonight we're here with Josh Angulo and Luke Papilion after the Cougars' 51-30 homecoming win over Winona State. Gentlemen, talk to us about the win and what it means to go 1-0 and move on to 6-0 for the season.
It was awesome. I was really proud of the team and how we responded from that 17-3 deficit starting off the game. Nobody panicked. Everybody stayed poised. Everyone was just, it was just fun to go out there and see all the work that we put in this week, pay off tonight.
Josh, you and Luke seem to have an added dimension when it gets down to third down because you seem to connect. I think the Cougars are well over 50% on third down conversions, and a lot of time it's you two. Talk about what you two have.
I think we have a pretty good connection. We put in a lot of work. We put in work in the winter, in the summer. We're in the gym throwing balls together. We're talking about concepts and routes almost all the time. After every practice, we talk about routes and concepts that we needed to fix from that day. We just put in a lot of work, and it's coming out and it's showing right now. And I'm just glad that we can help our team and convert on third down, because a lot of the time, that's what is a game-changing moment and a game-changing event that can happen when you can get a big third down. So I'm glad that we can do that.
So homecoming is kind of a family get-together. I know Luke had a lot of people here. Josh, you did. Talk about what homecoming and this win means to get it on this night.
This is a big win for our program. Winona State's a great football team. They've showed a lot of great things this season. It's always a great atmosphere to play on homecoming. You got the fans riled up. You got a big crowd here. It was a lot of fun playing under the lights on the Bob. It's a great win for the program, a great win for the season, and we're excited to move on to SMSU.
Josh?
Like you said, it's awesome. It's basically, you look up in the crowd and you see old faces of old teammates, that you had here when we were freshmen, and it's just awesome. It's one big family here. I look up and I see guys that I haven't seen in forever, and I just miss them to death, and I'm just glad that we could put out a good performance for those guys because they deserve it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello, Cougar fans. I'm here tonight with head coach Jed Stugart of the University of Sioux Falls Cougars football team, ranked number 5th and 4th in the nation. His team defeated Winona State 51-30 in a homecoming football game that wasn't for the faint-hearted, so to speak. And Jed Stugart picks up win number 50 as head coach of the Cougars. Jed, talk about what this win means for your program and some of the highlights of tonight.
Well, the highlights are you guys figured out a way to win and overcome adversity at the start. And Dan, I think the attention was on, geez, were the Cougars ready to play? And I think the way that thing started is not everything's always going to go right. And what I love about our team is that we tell our team all the time that you're not going to play a perfect game. And what I like is the resolve they have. No panic on the sideline. Yeah, things didn't start the way we want to. We give up some big plays right off the bat. They score. They go up. Before I know it, it's 17. We don't score on the 1 yard line. We got to settle for a field goal. Is it panic mode? No. These guys just coaches started coaching. We started adjusting because we went through a lot of adversity. Cameron Ostrom getting hurt is a moral leader for us. He's a physical leader for us. He's our team captain, and him going down was tough this week. We had to make some adjustment. Proud of Nate Luke stepping up, who stepped up as Cam went down and filled that Sam linebacker position. But anytime you have something like that, it's going to be a little adversity, and then you're on top of that, you're playing the top passing quarterback in the league right now, and offense. And then when you shake all that down, I'm just proud of they handled the adversity and they started figuring out a way to win. So that's a summary to me. I'm a half full guy, so I probably, we still go back and look at the things we need to be better at. But I'm gonna highlight the things we did right and figure that part out first, and we'll adjust the things we need to fix.
One thing you don't have to go back and adjust is the love this team has for each other.
Yeah.
Before the game, Cam Ostrom comes out on his cart, and I think to a man, everybody went over, gave him a hug,
yeah,
and welcomed him. And I think to a certain degree that was a comfort thing for this team to see him on the field with them.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, and the funny thing is that the respect for Cam, there's no question. But they love each other to where, I'm not too sure whoever would be the guy. They probably would do it. Cam is one of those guys that just everything, when he talks, people listen. And I think that did jolt our defense a little bit last week. It was like, wait a minute, Cam's down. And so what happens? Is the defense going to panic? Or does the next guy step up? And we've got leaders, but you got John Tidwell, and you've got leaders all over that team on the defensive side. And so when one goes down, the next guy steps up. I can't express enough about the love these guys have for each other. It's just hard to explain. They're almost goofy about it. They love each other. It's in the locker room and being on the bus, and they're just a fun bunch to be around.
You played a team that is used to winning in Winona State. Tom Sawyer's done a great job with that program, 17 winning seasons and 5 playoff teams. And they came in here, expecting to win. And they came out on fire, and to your credit, down 17-3. By the end of the first quarter, you're already back. Talk a little bit about your opponent and the challenge you guys had today.
Well, I'm laughing just because on Monday in our team meeting, I said basically what you just said. I said, this team's used to winning. This team's going to come out here. They gave you one of your 3 losses on this team. We're 54-3 maybe, and they're one of the losses for us. And you tell kids and you do those things, and I think sometimes they just looked at me like, yeah, okay, whatever, coach. And then they came out and punched us right off the bat. So, I think I'm laughing because, it's a great lesson for us to just say, man, every week we got to prepare. If we didn't have quite the practice that we had like we did the week before. Doesn't mean we didn't practice well. It just means we weren't as consistent in practice. This will be a great wake-up call for us. There's always things that you can learn from. So you don't make the same mistake, and so I actually kind of like the fact that we did what we did. We haven't had to do that very often, Dan. Come from behind, and sometimes you don't mind having to do that just to show the team they can do it.
One of the things that really shined, or one of the players that really shined tonight, is Luke Papilion, who, in a night when we're talking about family and homecoming, had a big group here. They had a surprise birthday party for his dad last night, and Luke just shined in front of his parents and all of his friends. 6 combined TDs, 400 yards passing, almost 100 yards rushing. The kid is a gamer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the player of the week in this conference. I don't care what anybody else did around the league against that team, and he is a warrior. I cannot believe the shots that kid took tonight. It was one of those things where they were bringing heat. He was getting hit. He was falling. He was getting hit and throwing touchdowns, and then he'd come off. And I know he's sore because I know he took a lot of shots. But he's a warrior. The kids respect him because of the way he plays. But the warrior checklist on our team of big plays and big catches and it just goes down the list. Just proud of these guys, proud of Luke, proud of the performance, but I'm proud of his leadership. The kids really responded to it.
On a team that rolls up a lot of offense week to week, to see a team put up, I don't know, one guess earlier, and I haven't calculated it all out, there's 6 to 10 different career highs. Brady Rose, who I don't think most people knew a year ago when he played in that 11-1 season, that in that spring he had a bad ankle, and now we can see when he has full strength in that, not only his speed but his overall strength, and then Josh Angulo, who set a career high with like 140-some yards receiving. Those 2 guys really are stepped up and are, they're like Luke, they're players.
It just confirms to me that I'm glad that we recruit kids based on their heart and not their height and weight. Josh is a good example of that. Brady's a good example of that. I mean, you go down the list of kids that we have here because, maybe too many other places might have, because I'm always shocked for why some people didn't go on kids. And you look at, you just can't say enough about the kid's heart. And you just go across our team. These guys got heart and they care for each other, and I'm proud of them. And just proud. I just can't stress how calm the sideline was. No panic the way that game started, and we just to hear guys say, all right guys, somebody make a play. Let's get it going. And then they went out and did it and climbed back, and then it was off and running. Proud of them.
Couple things. Not only did you have 661 yards, but a defense that gave up some yardage today and a few big plays nonetheless. Getting John Tidwell back had to be a comfort. Talk about that.
It's a moral comfort. I mean, our kids, he just brings a calm on the field and some leadership out there. Not that, Cliff's play while he was gone, it has enabled us to do some things with John while Cameron's been injured because we just trust so much while Cliff played. But to have John back, this whole week of practice has been better, just kind of keeping us focused on the field. And so you can't, that's priceless to have him back. He's always at practice, he's walking around, but to actually have him participating, it makes a big difference.
Finally, we don't always talk a lot about your coaching staff, but these guys work really hard all season.
Yeah.
Can you talk about, real quickly, or it doesn't have to be quickly, but talk about your staff and the kind of work and effort they...
That's where it starts, Dan. We talk about it. You mentioned how close our team is. You're around our team a lot, and you watch how they love each other, and it starts with our staff. These guys are each other's fans. Coach Jackson and Coach Haborka are each other's biggest fans. They love to watch their teams on the field. Tremaine loves to watch our offense on the field. When we've and vice versa. It starts with and I just think about how they take care of our kids, the way they treat their players, the way they coach them. I almost say we teach them. Our coaches teach these kids. And they're the first ones. I've been on part of sidelines when games start like that where it's a meltdown, and coaches are starting to panic and they're just yelling and screaming. And these guys, it starts with them. That's why the composure is the way it was. So anyway, it's
Okay.
I'm just proud of them.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks for stopping by. Fans, this is Coach Stugart's 50th career win at USF. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that, and many more moving forward.
That's a tribute to our coaches and players that we got here. But thank you.
Thanks, Jed.
Thanks, Dan.